Welcome back to Jessy Junction. I'm so amazed and happy to have this wonderful guest on Jessy Junction. She has a show called CYNTHIA NYAMAI Show and airs on another channel. But now, here we go with CYNTHIA NYAMAI on Jessy Junction. Karibu sana Cynthia kwenye Jessy Junction.
Kwani waambie watu the full story? This is the lady who taught me everything I know about media. If it was not for her, I would not be where I am today.
So if I say, what will you say?
Do a proper introduction.
So if I say, what will you say?
Ambia watu pali hata tumetoana.
Okay, so but
yes.
Because I have this amazing guest.
Thank you.
This lady taught me how to write scripts for TV.
Yeah.
Were it not for this girl when I was an intern at KTN, I don't know what would have become of me.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful to have this wonderful lady on Jessy Junction tonight. Actually, the scripts for Jessy Junction, singejua kuandika, were written not for Cynthia Nyamai.
Even the weight you have now, it was the mandazis I used to buy. Zile za Aleki.
So
tell people the full story.
Okay, the lady that used to buy for me mandazi when I was an intern at KTN trying to do news is here. You wonder why I failed in doing news?
Continue choosing violence.
Cynthia
Thank you for having me.
Karibu sana kwenye Jessy Junction.
Asante.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Unakaa poa sana.
Asante.
Many years and you still look so beautiful and still the same.
Thank you.
You don't change an inch. What's the secret? Unajua kuna wasichana wengi wanashangaa. I used to watch Cynthia Nyamai doing news on KTN, business news. Those days and she's here again. Cynthia Nyamai na hazeeki kwani alikuwa anasoma news akiwa class 4 akiwa 19 what's the secret?
Maisha nzuri, enjoy life, laugh, have good friends. You see, like me and you, the way we are friends, we can sit and laugh, have a good time. That's what, have a simple, good life. Enjoy the simple things in life, enjoy the important things in life. You will live long, bila stress. Alafu watu kama mimi, yata you see on my page Instagram, I'm always praying and fasting. Pia hiyo it makes you look younger.
Wow. Praying and fasting sana sana.
Usaidia.
Ulianza hii maneno ya Mungu kitambo ama ni juzi juzi? You seem to be very spiritual. Because when I go on your page on Instagram, mostly you're there encouraging young people, giving scriptures, sometimes unatupea motivational talks. Is it that you grew up in a Christian family or kuna mahali tu kwa maisha tu ilifika ukaamua maisha imekuwa ngumu au nimeparambulate imeisha, wacha sasa nirudi factory settings, nirudie Mungu after umeenda alafu urudi rescue, then unatuambia tuokoke na utaki sisi tuende hata sisi to experience turudi.
Staki muumie. But mine is, I grew up in a Christian home.
Where is that?
I grew up, I was born in Mombasa. We lived in Mombasa a bit, then moved to Nairobi. And also we lived in different parts of the country, but when I was a bit older, my parents stopped traveling a lot so that we go to a good school, and they chose a Christian school again. So I remember in primary school, the first lesson was Bible. Saturdays we would take a walk with my mom. We go to church in the evening, kuna choir practice. Her best friend, even until today, maybe be a pastor. So I grew up in the church. And unfortunately, what sometimes happens when you grow up in the church, it becomes more of ni kitu tu umezoea. You don't have a relationship with God, but you know all the right things to do, the right way to sound. Especially for me, my dad was an elder. I was singing in the choir. I was teaching Sunday school. So you just know how to do those things. Live right, because that is what is expected of you. Yes, the Bible says that. So throughout, even when we met at KTN, even then, I was born again. I got born again when I was 5 years old.
Did you even know that you're getting born again?
Yes, that one I remember.
Class 5, surely.
I was 5 years old.
You are 5 years old.
Yeah, I was 5.
5 years mtoto anajua nini anafanya.
What I knew then, you know, my parents used to go show people around, show people movies. My dad had this old projector. Sasa hiyo akaonyesha watu movie The End Times. nikaona rapture ati someone was walking, mtu mmoja anawachwa, unaona tu nguo hapo, watu wewe umewachwa, unashangaa where is my wife, kumbe ameenda mbinguni. I cried. I told my dad I don't want when Jesus comes that I'll not have you people, you guys will have gone and me I'll be left here. But hiyo niliokoka. Even from that time I began to feel the Holy Spirit talk to me. I used to tell my mom, I feel something is telling me don't do this wrong. So I knew, yes. And since 5 years I was born again. It's just hapa na pale sometimes my walk with God was not right. Unaenda hapa unaonja hii kunaenda vibaya unarudi tena. Until much later is when now I got to a point and I got into a serious relationship with God. Not religion, and I don't practice religion at all. I practice having a relationship with God. So a lot of things I found out even that I learned in the church were not right. There are traditions, especially that the white people came, traditions that they were practicing and taught us that that is what God is saying. The church should be this way and that way, but it's not true. When you read the word of God, there is nothing like that in the Bible. Yeah.
Are you planning on becoming a minister?
People call me pastor. When I was in Uganda is where my relationship with God grew. I think I used to take a lot of things for granted. My career did very well at KTN. I did so well. I left when I was at the peak. I won an award, and then I was doing PR on the side, and my PR company was doing so well. Shortly after that, started working with TNA, which became Jubilee. We won an election. Hold it.
Unakimbia sana. Unakimbia sana as if sasa ukisema I left KTN, then I went to TNA. As if ni story tu za kusema ovyo. You are one of the most senior presenters at KTN, doing business news that time, and you are at the peak of your career, doing business news, reporting here and there. Ukiona news za 9, CYNTHIA NYAMAI is there, and then at that time you decided wacha niondoke KTN, and then at the same time unaisema tu hivi. You think I wouldn't want to know, or people wouldn't want to know at what point ukiwa at the top you thought, you know what, let me leave. And when you left doing news KTN, at the peak, Kenya wasichana sasa wanatafuta or watu wengine journalist wanataka kukua, you decided, let me leave. Where were you going? And did that decision scare you? And did you have friends around you that were like, the decision you're making is wrong, don't do it? How was that experience of
everyone told me, this is a bad decision. But you know, there's something in everyone. Like for me, I always feel there's something in me that tells me, and I think I call it my purpose. It tells me now our time is done. There's something always that will tell you. And for me, I had a clear picture. When I was joining KTN, in my CV, I wrote, I want to become the best in Africa. And in my mind, I told myself I'll build a brand. And you'll notice, in Kenya, tunanga ma celeb sana. Kwa TV ndio unakuwa celeb. So I said, let me use TV to build my brand, and then I can start my business. Because you see, for me, I come from a middle class home. I don't come from a lot of connections and all that. So I knew I have to first build my brand so that I can start my business. I always wanted to be a businesswoman. Hata nikiwa mdogo, I remember one time, Christmas Day, we went to church. You know, the way in church, people don't have money to bring offering, wanalete kangombe and all that. So my dad akanunua mbuzi. He was like, twende tuchome for Christmas. On the way, as we were driving, nikaangalia hiyo mbuzi, it was in the boot. I told my dad, Dad, let me ask you something. Is this a he-goat or a she-goat? Baba yangu akaniambia, I think it was a he-goat. Nikamwambia, if we buy a she-goat and it has babies, it would be better we sell the babies and then later we can eat this goat after we've made money. Akasema, yeah, that makes sense. Kufika nyumbani hivi kila mtu amengoja hiyo mbuzi, nikaanza kulia. I told my dad, we are not going to sell
the business.
Yes. Do you know, yes, Christmas, tulitafuta kuku, na mtu akaenda kwa butchery akatafuta nyama. Nikaanza business yangu ya mbuzi. Na every month I would call, niulize, shushu yangu. I'd tell my dad, Abu, ask shushu, how many babies does the goat have, hivyo sales, na nangoja pesa yangu. So I was always a business person. So I knew I want to have my own business. And the funny thing, I think when you're a child, your mind is very clear. It's just when you grow, things happen to you and you lose those dreams. Even when I was a child, I used to sit and practice how I'll be interviewed on TV, like this interview, and speak. It's amazing. And I always tell people, allow your children to dream. Because all the things I used to dream about when I was young, I have seen them come to pass. Even I'd walk with my mom in the streets. Najua, one day when I'm walking around, everybody will know my name. So for me, I knew when I was joining KTN, I was very clear, I'll stay here for 5 years. I had an exit plan, and I'd even told myself, we had joined 8 people, nika calculate, how can I work twice as much as all these guys so that I'm promoted twice as much, and in 5 years, I'll have done twice as them, and I'll be able to exit. Nika calculate the hours, tulikuwa tuna work, and everything. So me, even I used to work weekends. Hata I would work in commercial, nasaidia watu wa commercial. Alafu when I won the Diageo Award, which until now even nobody in Kenya has won, I won Best Upcoming Journalist, Business Journalist in Kenya, in Africa actually. So nikajua, see, I'd said in my CV that I want to be the best. See, I've become the best. Now it's time to leave. And something in me just wanted, what I wanted to do at that time at KTN is to expand a bit. I had a show, Enterprise Kenya. I wanted Enterprise East Africa. But a lot of people were not ready, even getting a sponsor who wants to sponsor for the whole region. It was difficult to get. So I felt, okay, I want to do something bigger. Nikaacha kazi. So kuacha kazi, even I sold my car. I used to have a Red X-Trail. I remember one time ilikuwa kwa gazeti nimepose hapo nayo. Hey, when you're young, you do crazy things. But anyway.
But Cynthia, you just decided to leave at the top because you knew 5 years I want to be at KTN. So it was your plan.
It was my plan.
You had a plan that 5 years I'm exiting. And you knew after this I want to go to ABCD. Did you still have, because it seems you are a plan, kind of a plan person.
I like planning.
Did you plan prior that you are going to join KTN? Na nikijoin nitatoka after 5 years.
I'd planned and I never.
When did you know nitakuwa pale kwa TV na nitaenda KTN, not any other channel, and then I'll leave?
I remember.
At what point did you make this
one
plans?
time Katuanzile alikuja shule. Kwanza we had.
Which school was this?
USIU.
You went to
yes, I went to USIU.
No wonder. Watu wa USIU munasoma, mkijua mtapata kazi, mkijua mta resign after 5 years.
Tumejipanga. That's the way we roll. Tumejipanga. So Nzile came. Na nikaambia Nzile, Katuanzile, that time he also
the managing director KTN.
Akakuja, he gave a talk, editor. Sorry, so from his talk, I was like, this is the media house I want. So I went and I told him, excuse me, sir, my name is CYNTHIA NYAMAI and I wanted to tell you I'm almost doing my internship. And when I finished, Kwanza, he was working with my lecturer. Lecturer hata akanitetea, because I used to volunteer. You know, people don't realize even when they see me and you, people think we were given these things on a silver platter. There's a pattern. There are things we practice in our lives. So like my lecturer, anytime he used to ask for volunteers, I would volunteer. I remember one time they had a journalism conference. People didn't want, they were even asking how much. Me nili volunteer. Again, I met Nzile. Hey, nika make sure mbele ya Nzile na I'm working hard. And naona na namwambia, remember, I'm going to come and work for you.
So this is the guy who decides who goes where in the newsroom. The whole of KTN broadcast there. He decides who utakuwa journalist, who utasoma news, who utafanya business, who utafanya sports. That guy, you had a chance to meet him. Because of taking opportunities that people are ignoring.
Even that day, I remember he came to give a talk in school. We had Mr. Miss USIU. So hiyo siku hata watu wako kuja class. But me I knew kuna mtu huyo nimesikia waketiana anakuja, I have to be there. So I was there, hata nimeketi hapo mbele na msikiza because I want to make sure ameni notice. Me if I set my eye on something, I will get it.
Sinikwambia kitu tunaweza set our eyes on
to set on nini niambie. I always get it.
Utanisaidia? Nikuache ufanye mimi ningoje. I'll tell you after the show.
Niambie.
Nitakwambia
after the show. So long
show.
as you will take care of my needs. Nikiangalia bank account na smile. But anything
so that
I want.
Ukaona, there is the managing editor KTN.
So alafu even to make matters better later on nika realize kumbe even he comes to our church na watoto wake wako kanisa yetu na mimi nilikuwa nafundisha Sunday school. Guess who are my students? So unawaambia ni go home, tell daddy teacher amemsalimia, unaacha message. Nikajua huyu mtu nitamsumbua mpaka he'll never say no. So even sasa one time sasa when I was looking for internship, by the people would even tell me ati let's come I get for you a job here. I would refuse. Hata people would think, in fact one time I remember someone was talking to me, they're like, you can't choose a job. I was like, me I want KTN, I want nothing else. So hata sikuwa sometimes na enough bus fare, I'd have to walk half of the journey ndio nikuwe na enough bus fare ya kurudi half of the journey.
Where was that sasa?
Sasa that time we were living in Kahawaskari.
So unatoka Kahawaskari na mguu?
Kahawaskari natoka nafika mpaka somewhere hapo around hapo Ngara hapo mbele kidogo wasinilipishe sana. So from Ngara natembea mpaka INM. Alafu you know when you take long walks, ukifika destination yako ndio ukisimama jasho inatoka. So I used to learn. Unasimama hapo nje ya INM, hewa inanipita, jasho inatoka kidogo, and then ndio napanda juu, you go to the bathroom, you clean kidogo, and then you go to the reception. And then the reception.
What USIU tembea?
Si utafuta. Me and my dad was strict. USIU I used to drive myself.
Yes.
But my dad used to tell me after nimekusomesha, you're on your own. Gari nilikuwa nataka ujue in case there's an emergency. Na ile siku utanunua yako, you'll know how to drive. You do not buy your car. Na mambo ya shule, everything he'll take care. You'll even have a car, he'll fuel for you. But after upate degree yako, you're on your own. So ile atakupea ni bus fare ya kwenda kutafuta kazi. But me, because I was stubborn, I used to go to KTN every day nasumbua nzile.
Kusumbua huyu jamaa.
Nzile. Hata mara nyingi they tell me, madam ako kwa meeting, I tell them, wacha niongee naye kwa simu, wananipe, excuse me sir, I'm here. Every day, excuse me sir, I'm here. And it's good to be calling people sir. I tell people, show people respect.
Yes.
Honor people who are in great positions, even when you don't completely agree with them, but honor where they are, so that even that grace falls on you. And even then they want to know, nikikuleta utaniaibisha hapa.
Yes.
Excuse me sir, I'm here. Excuse me, nikakuwa mabeshte. Hata there was another watch, we can call her watch lady. She was there, we became friends. Security personnel. We became very good friends.
Yes.
And the receptionist. So receptionist, juu hata hauna pesa ya lunch, at least they used to give me chai na mandazi. Ila mandazi nilikuwa nakununulia. I had learned the importance ya kuokoa watu. So nilikuwa naokolewa na hiyo mandazi.
So what time did you used to go to KTN? In the morning?
In the morning.
And sit there at the reception?
I would sit the whole
at
day.
At 9 a.m. Waiting for one person, the managing editor.
Hata sometimes namgoja hapo nje na try.
Na una appointment?
Nauliza, yeye uenda lunch saa ngapi? Hivyo una get information hivyo. My head, by the way, when I used to pass through INM, I used to tell everybody, one day I'll work there. Yeah, if I want something, I say it, I believe in it, I see it. I used to see myself walking and working there. Even I used to pass, naangalia the restaurants around, nijue, when I work here, nitakuwa nakula lunch wapi. So one time, pesa ikaanza kuisha. Nikajua kesho sina pesa ya kukuja. And I think I was just frustrated. It was almost a month. Nikapewa simu nimuongelesha. Nikamwambia, excuse me, do you know I've been coming here for a month? I'm going to disturb you until I get this job. I've been telling you that, do you know now I don't even have bus. Akaniambia, Cynthia, can you just come up ndio uone how busy it is? Nikapanda. We used to wait, I think hapo reception was 6th floor. unaenda juu 14th floor.
Yes.
Kwenda kwa reception, I found a nice lady called Cynthia. We are friends until now. And then Mwanaisha akakuja.
Mwanaisha Chizuga. Yes.
Akakuja. Akaniambia tuende uketi pale, the editors are in a meeting including Zile. Paka akanipa gazeti.
Na yeye ndiye alikuwa amekuita uende juu uone that he's busy. Actually busy. Kabla utujibu hiyo swali whether alikuona na okay, obviously kuna kazi baadaye, but what transpired that day, kama ulipata kazi hiyo siku or not?
Tatoboa yote.
Cynthia Nyamai still on Jessy Junction, atuambie more about her story joining KTN, kupigia mdosi daily. I'm here and you need to give me a job. Does it come that easily? Don't go anywhere. Jessy Junction will be back in a few. Welcome back to Jessy Junction. We're still here with the amazing media personality, TV presenter, news anchor, PR practitioner, Cynthia Nyamai. So, ukapanda lift kuenda kutafuta kazi KTN when it was still in town. Ukakuta the managing editor Katua Nzile ako kwa mkutano. Did he see you?
After a very long time niliketi, but what I did, because office yake hata I saw it was glass.
Yes.
So nikaanza tu kupace up and down asinisahau.
Ako kwa meeting pale.
Anaona tu msichana anatembea tu.
Na meeting mali wako ni glass. So unapita tu. Natembea najifanya naangalia juu all round ni glass, naangalia huko nje nikikaa nasimama asinisahau. I knew that day I'm not leaving until I see this man. Let me ask you, Cynthia, in all honesty, I'm sure kuna mtu anashangaa leo and might want to even text us ame ai wewe alikuwa nakatwa kumbele ya mdosi ambaye vile ni msupu mdosi yako.
Unajua kitu funny by the way. Even the other day I tweeted about it. The funny thing is for me, hata when I was growing up, even people used to tell you things like, oh, wewe ni light skin. Hata siku anaelewa hizo vitu. Hata people kuambia wewe ni msupu. Mi kwangu, siku anaelewa because the way my dad brought us up was be independent women, work hard. I've worked hard for everything that I have. So in my head, I've never felt like, oh, I'm a hot chick. Even, in fact, I sometimes, for a long time, I used to struggle with how I look. Hata mtu akiniambia uko msupu, I used to think, huyu anani-enjoy.
You had your insecurities.
I had my insecurities for a very long time. So hata when I was doing that, what I wanted is my job. Alafu mi ni one-minded. I think that's why even I'm a business journalist and I really struggled when I was starting my talk show. Because for me, I'm a one-minded person. I don't have, for the show I notice I struggle. I don't know how to really show lots of emotion and all that. Mimi najua tu A na B inakuwa after that ni C na hivyo tu. Sina other, I think I'm a bit, what would I say, maybe boring or a nerd. So hizo vitu hata siku anajua hiyo catwalk.
You're not boring.
Baby hata light skin aisaidiani.
Hakuna hizo white privileges. Light skin privilege. Wewe ukuzipata.
Baby hata
maybe that time it was not there.
Do you know the funny thing? I never noticed even that there is light skin and dark skin in my family. We are too light and too dark. Recently, last year, is when my sister, the one who is dark, was telling me that we were watching a TV show, people talking about it. I was like, hey, this is a lie. Ati light skin have privileges, dark skin watu uonewa. Where is that? Because mi sijaiona mtu nikasema, huyu ni dark skin, sitamfanyia 1, 2, 3. My sister told me, she's the one who told me, do you know, for so many years, I used to look at you and be like, I want to be like you because you're light, your life is easier, things are hard for her. That's when I realized there's an issue ya light skin na dark skin, but sikuwa najua mimi.
That is what is called light skin privilege. What you've just explained.
But you see, I have never gotten kitu rahisi.
Unadhani watoto wadosi wanajuanga wako na privilege za kukua watoto wadosi?
Jua napatanga vitu rahisi. Mimi hakuna
kitu
nipata rahisi.
You wake up in the morning, you have sausages, you have bacon, you have baked beans. Those things that people think are for the privileged.
Yeah.
But Ndoma and Gwashes are the in
But you
thing.
see, they have those
But they
things.
don't know. They don't know.
I've never gotten anything because I'm light. I've struggled. Even in KTN, I struggled. Even to voice my first story, I struggled. There's nothing in my life I have ever gotten easy. Even to read news.
People don't know that.
Even to read news, I
Do
struggled.
you know, Cynthia, what it takes for someone kusumbua mdosi? Alafu ampigie. Mpaka aambie mdosi, you know, I've been here the whole day waiting to see you. Wengine watamuuliza, who gave you the permission to sit there? And you trained, had amazing experience at KTN.
Yes.
And then decided, wacha niondoke. Because you knew mwaka yangu imepita, ukaenda. Did you know, leaving KTN, you went and started campaigning for TNA that time, the party, the political party?
Not immediately. First, I was working with corporate companies doing their PR, because I used to meet a lot of corporate
So
people.
when you left KTN,
yes,
you immediately created your
my
own
company. Yes, and I was working with corporates first.
How did you start getting those jobs? You were just a journalist?
Yes.
You've left.
Yeah.
You've started a company.
Yeah.
Was it just that instant you got jobs? Yes,
immediately. In fact, my company never suffered loss until much later when something happened. But immediately I was making profit.
Using the links that you had as a journalist?
When I was interviewing people, you know, I was there to learn. I was very clear in my head, Sikai Hapa forever. So when I'd interview these CEOs, and I love learning, even beyond the interviews, I would talk to someone. I would remember to always tell them, thank you for coming. Alafu, one thing I always used to do, and I remember one time, there was a job I was given by someone I met through the interviews. When my company had just started, one of the biggest events we had, it was with the late Kofi Annan. He was meeting with the business people, so I helped in the events planning and inviting, because them, of course, they didn't know the people to invite. So I invited the business people and all that. So even the organizers told me, Cynthia, kaa tu kwa meza akika na the business people. So I remember Vimal Shah was there, and then he said, an issue sometimes with journalists is they like asking for money. Then he said, you know, the reason why we even have Cynthia at this table and we continue to work with her, when she was a journalist, hakuwahi itisha pesa. I never used to ask for money. Don't ask for short-term things. Always think long-term. Pesa utapewa even right now 2K. Unyamaza tu upate deal. Kama hiyo evening dinner we had, I was paid for make it much more than 2K.
Those tips.
Yes, much more, and you have the respect. And you meet people like Kofi Annan, even though you're not a big businessman. It had all the big business people. Mine was so small, but out of the respect and the name I built for myself, I could sit at the table. There are things that you can do that will advance you to sit at the table much faster than you are supposed to sit at the table. Integrity is number one, and to know exactly who you are. So when I was a journalist, I used to learn from all these business people. They had confidence in me. A lot of them even used to tell me, Cynthia, if you do this business, you'll do well. So when I started, people like Tabitha Karanja really supported me, Kina Vimal Shah, a lot of people really held my hand and would give me business. Unapata hata contract ya 1 year.
And so how was it now transiting from business with people to politics?
So to
managing
politics,
public relations for a political party.
Yes.
TNA, how was that experience for you?
It was an interesting one. I think being young is nice, because sometimes you get into things without knowing. So people were meeting, I think it was Pan-Afric, somewhere by the pool. So my neighbor told me, he was called George, so twende meeting. So nikaenda. So me, I gave my thoughts. So I saw another guy. He came, he spoke to me. So he said, hi Cynthia, how are you? He said, I like your thoughts and everything. Abukuja hapa tuongee. Would you consider working for the party? Nikasema hapana. Do you pay well? Akaniambia, hey. I said, it will give me also good learning experience. Akapigia mtu simu. The next morning I had meetings with some people from the party. The person who was heading the campaign. And then even later on, he now introduced me to Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria is the one who trained me and taught me so much. I needed to learn fast because already the campaigns had started. So Moses Kuria ndio alinishikilia mkono, akani-train within TNA, then later it became Jubilee. Then from there, the good thing is that, especially in governments, who could recommend. So from there, nikaenda Nigeria. Nigeria also, it was just a job that I was doing for the High Commission, hapa the Nigerian High Commission. I wanted to see trade between the two countries improve. Nikamwambia, hata they told me they have no budget. Nikamwambia, it's okay, I'll do. Mkipata budget, you'll pay me. So I met someone who had come. He wanted to meet business people in Kenya. And again, because I had those networks from, some of them are huge names that even rarely do meetings and stuff. But when I call them, they show up. So after that, I introduced them to this Nigerian person who is a big politician in Nigeria. And then I started doing work for him. And he's one of the people who helped the APC party. The APC party, the ruling party in Nigeria right now, was different opposition parties that came together to remove now the former president, Jonathan. So I worked for him. And then after that, worked a little bit in Tanzania.
Still or for a political party?
Yes, CCM. And then...
you are only working with parties that are winning?
I've never lost.
Yeah?
I've never lost.
You worked with TNA here?
Yes.
President Uhuru Kenyatta became.
Yeah.
Ukenda Nigeria for Buhari. President Buhari.
Yes.
Then CCM. That was President, the late John Magufuli.
Yes. When I started, I was working with January, but theirs is a bit different. There's the different people within the party. You decide who the party members decide mkona election. You decide who will be the presidential candidate. CCM, once you have that ticket, it's like automatically you will win the elections.
It's like 2002 in Kenya when we had the NAC euphoria.
Yes,
ukipata ya NAC
ni hivyo.
Unaingia kwa sababu ni kutoa the former president.
Ni hivyo. So hata until today CCM is like that. If you have the ticket. So now after working with January, now he was, and also now the former president akamsaidia campaign, he was head of communication. So after that, you know, hiyo sasa mtashinda mnapata.
Was it hard for you doing business, biashara, like your PR company handling business? You are a business reporter, and now ndio huyu wewe kwa siasa. Was it challenging for you?
It's a bit challenging.
Compared to business.
Yes, it's a bit challenging because first, you see, even I remember one time we had a story. I think the separation sometimes was hard between Cynthia, the TV person, and then now she's into business. And I remember even sometimes people would write stories and say TV girl. They're talking about something like, I remember for Kofi Annan, they wouldn't say entrepreneur, they'll just call me TV girl. Ata it's like you're just a girl and suddenly you umepata hii ka job. And then also sometimes the problem would be you're representing a client, but unakuwa a star than the client. So you have to learn how to deal with that. Hata unaambia, sometimes watu wa media wanaona hii wewe ndio utakuwa a bigger story. So I had to slowly now learn how to be behind the scenes and how to then deal with media so that they don't find you interesting. But which I enjoyed. I love being behind the scenes. Then the other thing also is that politics is very challenging, very stressful, very challenging, and it is also stressful to the body, especially when you're a woman.
In this journey, tuseme, because your growth came after, mostly after KTN.
Yes.
You went into business and then politics.
Yeah.
Did you encounter such challenges, sexual, watu wanakukujia in a sexual way, in pretense?
Yes.
Ya either biashara, ama siasa deal mahali. You've gotten those ones?
You get, I think when you're younger, like at KTN, a lot of people will try and hit on you, but after a while, people begin to know you. Like for me, people know if we are working together, we are not going to be in a relationship.
Wakakudanganyilia kuja hapa hivi kwa hiyo hoteli 5 star.
Sijui kwa nini sikati wangu sana. When I was younger, yes. And then you see the interesting thing for a woman, when you start making your cash, and good cash, and you can sit at the table with other men.
Yes.
Haukati wangu the same way sasa. It changes. Now, hata wale wakukatia ni... they are much powerful, much wealthier. Alafu unfortunately pia sometimes wanaanza kuambia there is a deal I want to give you. Haikuangile hata open, it is a bit different. Wanakwambia there is a deal I want us to do. Sasa mkianza kuwork halfway ndio unaona this one had other missions. Exactly. Exactly.
Na malipo ni yeye. Mimi ndio deal na malipo ni mimi bado.
But una learn to handle.
So you've learned how to handle
you learn how to handle.
So what would you tell girls when wanajipatanga maybe mambo zimeenda and then they still give in? Msichana kuna kampuni kake amefungua kadogo tu jana. Then there's some men who are around her. Anaona sasa ningangane hii miaka yote na kuna jamaa hapa anataka kunivukisha this shortcut nipite nitoke pandile ingine.
You know, at the end of the day especially if it's let me tell you a fact of life, and it will always be that way, nothing will change it. It is a man's world, and you have to learn your lane. If you're female, learn your lane. If you're male, like for me, even a lot of meetings, I don't wear trousers, but also I'll not wear tight and funny clothes, trying to entice people. Then I'll go and start saying, oh, women have rights to wear anything they want. Apana. Understand your lane. Understand your purpose. By the way, when you understand your purpose, things flow. If I'm in a meeting, it is because I have skills, I have something in my mind that I can present. I remember one time I went for a meeting in Nigeria, and I was so excited. I made my presentation. I'd already even proved myself. I'd done a job with those guys. Then later on in the evening, the CEO, I think he had tried many things. Later is when I realized, oh, when he was doing this, kumbe alikuwa anatry kunikatia. Eventually, akakuwa frustrated. Mpaka he told me, no, Cynthia, we are not kids here, okay? We are not kids. You think all these things na
sisi wote ni watu wazima bwana.
Let them fanya ile nataka.
Fanya ile kitu, kucheza kama wewe.
Na akaniambia, nikamwambia hiyo siko interested. And then, you know, when you know yourself and you value
when
yourself.
You told him you're not interested, what did he tell you?
Akaniambia, this is, sinafika hapo tu. Wewe na wewe unapenda kuruka
story. Si umeniacha nimesuspend hapa alafu unanikujia tena.
Tutarudi hapo. Sasa, you know, when you value yourself, because when he told me that, for me, even the way my mom brought me up, when someone tells me that, I feel like you've called me a prostitute. So I got angry. Nikamwambia, you think I'm a prostitute? Akaniambia, Cynthia, calm down. By the way, kama hauitikii hii kitu, sikupe hii deal. And I thought he was joking. By the way, those things really break you. They crumble. They can crumble you. You go back to your room feeling so useless, so stupid. People told you, wacha kufungua biashara, ukafungua, wacha kwenda huko, umeenda, abuona vile wewe ni fala, hata umepewa deal na umekata.
Then you got the deal in
Sikupata, I didn't get that job. But I'm happy I did not get that job. Because
you refused to give in to the demands.
Yes, I refused. But also, you see, for you to get some certain jobs, especially in government, gava huwa inakujua. Hata wacha hizi rumors people write. Because sometimes I see people trying to blackmail me. They'll write things on social media and they tell me, even it will affect your job. It doesn't. Because gava huwa inakujua. All your movements, everything about you. It knows tabia yako. So it knows there's tukiweka Cynthia kwa hii ofisi, she's honest. She's 1, 2, 3. There are things that Cynthia will not do. So if I had given in to that person, probably I would not have worked in the campaign because the person I was working for is someone senior in Gava. Maybe he would not have. Angesoma file yangu, aone kumbe huyu dem ako hivi. And you know kwa Gava,
akana moral standards.
Na kwa kwanza ukiwa kwa Gava some certain offices, you must have some standards. Where uta hook up tu na watu anyway, wanze kupeana siri ya hiyo ofisi unafanya job. Those things come back to bite you. And if you want to survive in a man's world, have your own standards. Na ukae hapo juu. Even these men are not stupid. I remember one time when we were doing the TNA campaigns, then a gentleman called me. Alikuwa financer wa mkubwa sana. Akaniita, akaniambia, Cynthia, kwa hii campaign yote, zile dozote na budgets ulikuwa unatuitisha, ulikuwa unafanya hiyo job. Na huyo mtu one day, job ingine ya usiku, alikuja akatokeleza. Akaniambia, Cynthia, kumbe you guys were serious, mnafanya hii kitu. Nikamwambia, by then in my mind, I would never even have thought of stealing. He paid me a huge bonus. And after that, until today, when I have a problem, he solves, he's a good person. Wale wa kusolve tu na simu moja.
Yes.
I know I can always go to him. He always solves my issues. If I need a certain job somewhere, I just talk to him because they already know you. Yes. So when you give in, you're giving to the just short term. Another thing sometimes girls don't realize, when you give in to a man, he buys you a phone, you begin to get comfortable. You don't work hard to buy that phone. When you don't work hard and find a way to buy that phone, you will never realize the gifts that you have. If me, when I was at KTN, and men used to do that, they bring you gifts, they want to give you money, they want to give you a car, blah, blah, blah. Ulikuwa unaletewa car keys hapo. If I had given in to those things, labda ningekuwa comfortable na nikuwe housewife wa huyo mtu na nikose. Being a housewife is not wrong, but that is not my calling for now. Eventually I'll be, I plan to be
a housewife.
I'll be, when I have children. Thank you. I'll be working very few hours.
Yes.
But you see, if I'd not stuck my guns and done the work, I would not be the woman I am today. And some of these jobs, as you're growing, you realize that you need that discipline. Like, for example, when I went to Uganda, the job that I had, some guys came.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. You went to Uganda to do another political campaign.
Yes.
So you did Kenya, Nigeria, Tanzania.
Yes. Uganda, and NRM, yes.
Was it like you were recommended to go?
Yes.
Ama ulitafuta? Ama ilikuja the same way? Mtu akwambia wewe namna gani?
Hiyo niliitwa.
Ogamba tinyabo. Come to Uganda, I will give you.
We will take care of you.
I will take care of you, and the government will assist you.
Yes, I was called. Niliitwa,
recommendations.
Recommendations. I think by the time you get to a certain age,
yes,
your job should talk for you. So uendi yangu ukitafuta, nipe kazi. Zingine, yes, you can unatafuta. Dufanya hizo vitu when you're younger.
Yes.
Aggressively look for the jobs. Eventually, the jobs will start coming for you. The jobs will speak on your behalf. So hata Uganda niliitwa, so nikaenda, nikafanya interview. And again, a country like Uganda, they check your background thoroughly.
Yes.
So kama umefanya vitu fani huko chini, and then they are very sensitive kwanza about security and so on. If you've done funny things huko chini, unaweza kosa hata kazi. So nikaenda, nikafanya interview. I didn't even know any of those people. It was even a complete system. Hata generals. Unajua Kenya hatuna military nyingi. Sasa hata unaambiwa this is a general, unaona kila mtu anapiga salute. You're like, sasa hii general ni wa army. But hii respect yote. Nikaanza kulana new system of working.
Yes.
Because my boss was a general, unalan. Hivi ndio vitu kuwa. So, and it can be frustrating. Working in countries like Uganda, Rwanda, it's a bit different. Uko uongeangi ati hata kwa restaurant of
because they are military.
Security is a big deal. Yo military. Na kuconfusingi bado. I'm so happy.
Unaona wewe?
Na ilianza.
Na kuangalia sana
ukiwa intern.
Nikiwa intern ukani confuse.
Even
still
now.
Doing that.
I'm happy.
And you want to be a housewife?
Nitakuwa.
Uni confuse maisha yangu ninayo kusema military kwa nyumba.
So military.
They are ruled by
yes.
Generals.
Yes.
What
so,
the presidents were generals,
yes.
but they are recognized countries.
Yes.
General Kagame, General Museveni.
Yeah.
So you are meeting a lot of generals because they are army-like kind of a government.
A lot of senior people you'll find in governments need generals. So a lot of people I'd work with need generals. So una have to learn. Unakuwa hivi. One thing I like about military is the discipline. I was nearly have to learn discipline times 100. Unafanya kazi until 4 in the morning. If you're needed in the office by 8, hata afadhali ulale hapo kwa ofisi.
But ukue hapo physically.
Hakuna excuse.
Was it challenging in Uganda versus other places? Because there was a time, I also read it, that you got arrested in Uganda while you're still doing that job that they that arrested you called you to do.
Yes.
The person that recommended you was someone who knew that government.
Yes.
And the same government, just like Honorable Orengo says, the same government eats its own children.
It is a good lesson to learn.
So
I was actually not arrested.
What happened?
What happened was my boss was removed from office, and it was tough because, again, you see, I was handling communications. That's how it is.
For NRM.
For NRM, and then later I was the boss that I was working for. He was head of police. So uanze kuandika ma communication vile boss wako anaenda. And then shortly after that, unfortunately also people were arrested, including him and also people in my office. So there was fear, especially in Kenya, that and I had seen a few stories that ata mimi I might get arrested. But I was not arrested. Of course, I lived in fear that if my colleagues have gone, I might also go. So hata every night nilikuwa nalala nika nimejitayarisha, nalala na nguo ready, nikikujiwa, because watu wengi walikuwa nakujiwa usiku, niko tayari. So and one thing I learned, when you're in those positions of power, my former boss was very powerful, the second most powerful person. So me working directly under him also made me very powerful. When you have power, and what really saved me is do things the right way. Do according to the books, do things the legal way. Be fair to everybody, even when you have that power. Juu saa ya kushuka. Kama mimi after that, when he was arrested, mambo nyingi kafanyika, bodyguard wako anachukuliwa, driver wako, gari yako, unaachwa hivyo malights.
So your private company was a consulting PR company for NRM in Uganda, the ruling party there. And when you say my boss, is it that this person had invested in your company, or your company was reporting to this particular person?
So in my company, I was the one representing my company and working, consulting now for him, because when you do jobs kama hizo, you can't pick everybody in your company to go work there. One person heads that account, and this one was a bit different because now I was even working from their office. So he was the head of police, IG, there they call it IGP, here in IG. So he was the IGP. So the police was my client. Si sasa yeye ndio IGP.
Ukapewa ofisi ndani ya Inspector General of Police Uganda. So yeye wakati alitoka ikasemekana
pia huyu
the brown nyabo.
Yes. But what helped me ni here, when you're in power, treat everybody very well. Afterwards, by the watu wakasema hapana, we work well with her, wacha. I still worked for another 1 year, even after he was removed, even when people were being removed and so on. I remember one time guys in Twitter were like, she's still here. But I lived well with the people, and I'm so grateful because walini support.
And now you're back at KBC after so many years of being off TV. Went and did all those things politically. Ukaenda huko Museveni akakwambia go back. And now go back to your country.
Aiziambia wa Kenya hivi. Anapenda wa Kenya.
Anapenda wa Kenya sana. No wonder you're working there. So now you're back. Was it challenging for you? How is the experience? Not challenges at all. How is your experience? Coming back to where you had left many years ago, and you had given yourself only 5 years to be at KTN, left, now you're back to start where you left. How is that experience?
Interesting. I think when I came back, even when I was in Uganda, one media house had started talking to me and had even told me if I want, I can begin starting work right in Uganda, but then I was like, no, I don't want to go back to TV. I'm an introvert, but I just do TV because it brings a part of me still enjoys doing stories, discovering new things and so on, interacting with people, but I'm still I still like doing things behind the scene. So at that time I didn't want. And then when I came, I liked the challenge that KBC offered me. They want to revamp a new face and everything. A few other media houses spoke to me, but KBC ndio aliharakisha mambo.
Yes.
And I liked that challenge. And after that we started training and so on. Unakumbuka, there are things I forgot about this job, but they're also very exciting things. And one thing I really, really liked was, because sometimes after a long time you're like, now when I go on air, will people accept me? I'm even older age-wise. I even look older. So you're like, hey, will they accept me? And even I saw some people saying, hey, why are they picking older people and not younger people? But I think one thing I liked about Kenyans was how they came out, they rooted for us on Twitter, Facebook. It was so encouraging. Hata unaenda ofisi unakuta gifts. Mtu tu amepita hapo reception, hapo kwa gate yetu hapo tu amekuachia envelope. I'm like, wow, this is so kind.
Yeah, we can realize people still love you.
Yes, people still love you. People send you messages kwa DM. People were like, can we dress you? You know, people came in, even for my talk show, because that is my own production that I sell to them. And when I was looking for the team, I remember my first show, all of it yote got deleted and got lost. So I had spent money already and so on. I didn't have money to do another production. I just got people and I said, can you people believe in me? Na nitawalipa after nimelipwa. The whole team I worked with, I never paid them a single cent until when we were given the first payment by KTN, like Sankara Hotel. They believed in me. Wananiambia, take, you want this? Take. I met a group of young men. Nikaambia, I want to. And you know, sometimes you're like, how hata wananikumbuka? Because they are so young. They're like, Cynthia, we remember you. We'll work for you. It's okay. They never asked even a single day for money.
Yes.
I remember even the lady who does my makeup and who does my hair, she worked free of charge. Hata anatengeza, I guess. They never asked me. She's called Shiro, a guy also called Collins for makeup. Kila kitu, everyone was so supportive, which also made me know I'm supposed to be here.
Yes.
When you're in your lane, doors open that you can't even believe.
Yes.
And even the proposals, even to do that talk show was difficult for me. It's not my style. Mi napenda hard, serious things, business. Hata sijui kucrack jokes. Nikulize to the numbers. Sijui, but
here you are asking about people's lifestyles.
Yes, and I have to make it interesting. That's why when I don't take up a lot of MC jobs. Mimi si hiyo.
Utakuwa serious sana on stage.
Ukiniitia ya business NSC I can do.
Yes.
Nitawaambia facts. Lakini hiyo kama yako siwezi. Yako I'll enjoy the jokes, but half of the time I look at it and I'm like, how did he think of that joke? You know, I even know those things, but you're like, to come up with a joke and sound so funny for me is hard, but I enjoy the challenge.
Yes.
And again, it has helped me learn a few things about myself. I found out kumbe I'm funny. Paka hata siku hizi mimi ni star kwa TikTok.
But I have seen your TikToks and Instagram, they're amazing. On TikTok, you are at Cynthia Nyamai.
Facebook.
On TikTok, she's at Cynthia Nyamai.
Yes.
Facebook,
Cynthia Nyamai.
Cynthia
All
Nyamai.
my pages.
Instagram as Cynthia Nyamai. Go check her out there. And of course on KBC. When does the show air?
My show is on Sunday.
Sunday, what time? I hope not the same time as mine.
We can't compete.
Yes, yours is 5 to 6.
Mine is 6 to
6 to 7.
Yeah.
So watch KBC
6 to 6:30.
6 to 6:30. And of course Jessy Junction. Your time is ever here. Jessy Junction 4 to 5 on KTN. The only show that you want to watch. Alafu baadaye watch Cynthia Nyamai. Cynthia Nyamai show. And Cynthia Nyamai, I want to thank you so much for coming to Jessy Junction.
Thank you.
It's such an honor also hosting people that also played a big role in my life when I was growing up.
And you make us so proud. Paka, you become a bigger star than us. I'm so proud of you.
Jealousy. But I'm happy I had people like you mentoring me.
Thank you.
I appreciate so much. So don't go anywhere. Jessy Junction will be back in a few so that tufunge na ile kuti yetu kama kawa kama dawa. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Media personality and a TV host, TV girl, CYNTHIA NYAMAI, right here on Jessy Junction. You know, young girls, whatever she has said about to mambo to, kupata job, kuhustle na nini, you better take that seriously. These are people you don't just meet, wakwambia hizi vitu. But they're on Jessy Junction for you. In fact, she reminds me of one great quote by Margaret Miller that says, "Most conversations are simply monologues delivered in the presence of witnesses." Thank you for watching Jessy Junction. See you next time. So far, so good.